what you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Welcome to this Monday morning's show of the MG Show. This is our show, Shady Groove. Welcome in here. This is your show, too. It's the M for Matrix and the G for Groove. Shady, welcome in here.
Man, oh man, so excited to be here today. Really is becoming easier and easier every day to do the job that we came here to do, which is support Donald Trump in the amazing transition of America from a neocon-controlled cesspool into the golden age. The process is well underway and ahead of schedule, I'm here to report. And interestingly enough, how do we measure that, you say? Well, we measure it by how loud people get that don't like what we're doing. And that right there, my friends, is the marker that we have achieved, quote unquote, by a lot.
Yeah, by a lot is right. And trending all weekend on X was General Flynn. Mm-hmm. It seems like people are now starting to see it. I wanted to thank Justice Cometh as well. Mm-hmm. Justice Cometh used to have an issue with our show, just like everybody else. And I want to just read this email because I can't do it any more justice than how well said it is. Are you ready? And I'm honored for this email, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Justice Cometh 1. And this is his second account. This isn't his big account, but this account is getting a lot of traction, and I'm very proud of this as well. He says this: I used to support Flynn, as did we, Shady, right? I used to support 5GW, as did we, Shady, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
No longer. In the Matrix and Shady Groove are right all along. 5GW is an Anon op to let Flynn's run roughshod over the Anon community. Flynn supports people that call our POTUS a traitor. That's not 5GW. I don't care how you spin it. Kudos to the MG Show for trying to warn us long ago. Thank you. Because we held the line. And then we reread the Flynn drops to realize that we had a lot of Anons. And Q told us live on our show in October. What was it? October 17th, Q post. We were live while Q was posting that. And it was kind of comms to us because the people he was talking about were actually in the audience too. Very interesting stuff. And there is Q and there are Anons. And there are posts made by Anons. And then people tie it to Q. These are called fake decoders, and we've got a lot of them in our community that heroized and guilty as charged. We did too, Shady. We protected this guy. We traveled the country with this guy. And now he's coming unglued, Shady.
So one of the things that's very interesting is Q talked about the loudest voices. And Q didn't talk about it like saying loudest voices, like you're being belligerent. Loudest voices meaning like people that are that are having the TDS, And so this is so interesting because what we've been watching is we've been watching the TDS within these people build up, and it's the same people that started screaming. They started screaming Israel's controlling Donald Trump. Then they started screaming that Donald Trump won't release the Epstein files. Remember that? And then the whole god awful event happened with Charlie Kirk being murdered. And then look at the way they glommed onto that, trying to like make it seem like something that it's not, trying to twist it and bend it and wring it out. Like, why do you don't have to do that. The truth doesn't work like that. The truth doesn't work where you go out and you just like look around and you start like pointing at things and saying that you think things are suspicious that are clearly not suspicious, or that you're being outraged by things that really aren't outrageous. And so this is where it started, leading through to the current moment where that post from Justice speaking like that, saying the truth, is a dagger in the heart of this established media neocon agenda to subvert Donald Trump and his administration. They did it the first time with the Russia thing. We can see clearly how Flynn was at the center of that. And now he wants to be at the center of this because J6 didn't work. And none of the other stuff, the fake stuff about the election that they did. Remember, these guys, let's not forget, these guys did a vote audit in the state and they came back with another 200,000 votes for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
That's what they really did. So they have a track record of being wrong. And thank you so much to Justice Cometh, who was a fan of this show for a long time before we had to tell the truth on Flynn.
Yeah. And Teak4U is also here. Jeff, you warned me and I didn't listen. I should have. You were right, bro. Look, it's not about being right, because the best thing that warms my heart is that you learned the truth yourself, okay? Yes. And we're going to be giving a lot of leeway to people that used to like General Flynn, because I used to like General Flynn, and it hurt my heart to realize who he really was. And I've done a lot of digging, guys. So is Shady, and so is Justice, and so are Anons, okay? And, you know, the movement and the Q posts weren't all about General Flynn to make him a hero. He took a rubber bullet. Rubber bullets don't last long. Bannon even said, ooh, the Flynn case is extending for 3 months. It'll give us some time. Time for what?
To me, the Q movement was about getting to the bottom of things, finding the truth no matter where the truth goes. That's what I did a long time ago with Bill Cooper, and I found some hard bottoms of where the truth goes. How deep, you know, people keep talking about rabbit holes. Let me tell you something. There's no rabbit hole below the truth. I'm going to say that again. There's no rabbit hole below the truth. Once you get down to the truth, you can't keep going because you found the truth. You understand? So people, what they do is they try to keep digging around it, and then they, well, this, and then they throw sand in your eyes. Oh, well, about that. And then they throw this point. What the Q movement was to me was the group effort, group dig to get to the truth. No Alex Jones, no behemoth media, no subversive voices, no other input, no outside comms. Q asked questions. We decided to answer them. Everything else about it is fake.
Yeah. And all those fake decoders, guys, we cannot forget them. And we fell for it. You know, remember the one Q post with all the kill box says CIA is here, pray? They were there. Okay. Patrick Byrne admitted that he was CIA. Patrick Byrne wants to run Flynn for 2028. Are you kidding me?
But that's and you haven't even shown these people what you're talking about yet right now. Yes, the guy that came out and told us that he was associated on the Emerald Robinson show with the CIA, and he's been working for him for years and doing all this. Yes, that's exactly right, Jeff. He made a poster. He made a poster over the weekend after Tom Massey has his little photo with Flynn, after Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene have their little Godfather photo. Then you have Patrick Byrne saying, because I think that Tucker thinks he can be president and Flynn thinks he can be president. So there's a little tiff going on right now, starting to form. You're going to see it metastasize soon.
So Flynn randomly ran into Massey in Iowa.
Yeah, bump into.
Oh, funny you're here.
Funny, yeah. Crazy meeting you here, where I got on a plane and came to take a picture with you.
You know, and we were all lied to. And I just want to show you the one thing that solidified it for me. okay, because we missed it. We missed this in 2021, okay? This is the statement by Donald J. Trump, October 19th, 2021. It says, General Keith Kellogg has written a sweeping and powerful account of the Trump presidency. He spent 4 years with me in the White House and said the 2016 campaign for the presidency. Remember, Roger Stone was fired on 8/8/2015. Okay. His narrative is factual and indisputable. Unlike other fakers and slime balls that write fictional books without knowing me or virtually anything about me, the general knew me and my administration well, and he was there for every major national security decision. Finally, we have a real, let me just repeat this again. Finally, we have a real inside account of our very successful 4 years, an incredible read published today. I strongly recommend this important book that will set a historic standard. Go get War by Other Means by General Keith Kellogg. It's really good. Okay. Chapter 8 is this. Out Like Flynn, page 95, Shady. Okay. We missed that one. So we saw this one on 8/8/2023. What a great, yeah, this is important, these dates, guys. 8/8/2023. What a great honor it is. The same day that Mar-a-Lago was raided, the same day that Roger Stone was raided as well by CNN. You know, that setup.
Hey, he was fired.
Oh, excuse me, he was fired. Yeah. Yes. Didn't they raid him? Okay, I have to double check that one. Anyways, let's just go back to this because it was on 8/8, and this was our go signal, guys, because we were already suspect of the Flynn and the network. What a great honor it is for me to receive a powerful endorsement from a very respected General Keith Kellogg, a true warrior who was in the Trump administration from the beginning. He knew the ins and the outs and the people, perhaps better than anybody. Chapter 8 is called Out Like Flynn. Okay. Keith worked directly with VP Pence, so endorsing me could not have been an easy decision to make, but for true warriors, not tough. Thank you, Keith. P.S. The general wrote a great book, War by Other Means. Get it?
Got it.
Good.
Thank you.
War by Other Means is a different mean than 5G warfare, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Interesting, too. Alex the Authority is also Flynn to Gitmo 2028. Alex the Authority was also in with us. I actually had to convince or talk to Alex and say, look, open your eyes, take off your Flynn-colored glasses, and let's look. It took a while. It takes people a while to figure it out. That's why Teak I understand, okay? I was resistant when people were telling me Flynn was bad until I actually did my own research, and that is why the truth is learned, never told. Do not use your emotions and what you think you know to make a decision on this right now, guys. This is what they want. Flynn camp or Trump camp? Choose your fighter. I choose Trump.
And so this, to me, whenever we say that you said JFK Jr. is dead and they scream at us, disinformation is necessary. This is what I think the disinformation is necessary type scenario is talking about with Q as far as Flynn is concerned. I think that they were leading Flynn on. I think that Flynn's group thought that they had one over on Trump. And so what Q was doing was essentially puffing up his ego and putting him out there saying, look, we're going to bend over backwards to take care of this guy. We're going to bend over backwards to say, let's support him because he's being railroaded by the government. Remember, we thought rubber bullet meant that General Flynn's case, his case against him by the deep state, quote unquote, was going to be what unraveled the deep state. And Comey and the whole thing. Lo and behold, none of that ever happened. So if that didn't happen, that can't be what Q meant. And in fact, we go back and we see that 1 year before Q, we have video of Flynn talking about his great friend Comey. And then we see this stuff that happened in Out Like Flynn that Jeff just showed you regarding the meeting between Pienka and Strzok and the quotes about how he kept Kislyak's conversation from Trump even knowing that he called, just to name a couple of the things that are going on. So the disinformation is necessary thing that Q mentioned, and that not all things are for anons. I think a lot of this was because they wanted Flynn to come out here and expose himself, because once he went down, he would take the whole ship with him.
Yeah. And I want to also let you know that this 1957 Army film that taught soldiers how to spot enemy communist propaganda, guess what they said? Disinformation is necessary in this. Okay. They doctored photos, tailored smears, endless conflict, controlled narratives. Is this what they are doing? Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones.
Yes.
General Flynn, Patrick Byrne.
100% what they're doing. They're trying to make it look like there is a divide so that the media will glom onto it and go out there and start writing. You'll see it within the next 3 to 5 days. You're going to see a barrage of media, mainstream media, Daily Mail, Guardian, you name it, BBC. They're going to be doing stories about how MAGA is fractured and divided and how weak we are. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is running at a clip in the Republican Party of approval that has literally never been seen in your lifetime. Obama was not this popular in the Democrat Party. I'm telling you, go back and look at the numbers. Barack Obama at his peak was nowhere close to this popular during the whole time of his presidency as Donald Trump is, due to the fact that once you got a year and a half into the Obama's presidency, everybody realized he was a liar and a cheat and a fraud and a fake, and he wasn't going to do any of the things that he said he was going to do. Donald Trump has done exactly what he said he's going to do, and we believe that this is the reason that these people are flipping out, is because he's doing what we want him to do, and they didn't want him to do it. They didn't want him to get rid of Iran. They wanted Iran to have a nuclear weapon. They were all for North Korea too, but he screwed that up for him in the first administration.
So listen to this. We got Orion Spectrum here saying, yet Jeff Peterson spelled my name incorrectly, so they must be a great researcher. Jeff Peterson of this show did missionary work with the Church of Latter-day Saints, right? You just make stuff up, bro. Like, I've never... You're insane.
It's like that. Yeah, that's like the Anon 55 guy saying yesterday that we stole stuff. They keep like they just make this crap up. They go, Matrix and Shady steal things and divide. I said, yeah, what we've stolen is your brains.
So why did we get rid of Orion Spectrum before they got a Red Castle?
I don't know.
So moderators, please, can you please do that for me?
I thought that was
trolls, let's get them Red Castles. Okay, thank you. Dancing Queen got one from Mikey Mariano. Thank you, Mikey. But it's so funny, man. So this communism film, this is communist propaganda. What you're witnessing with InfoWars, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, all these people, General Flynn, Patrick Byrne, this is communist propaganda. Marjorie Taylor Trader Brown, okay? All of these people are idiots. Joe Kent, idiot. All of them, Shady.
Why do they call it InfoWars?
Because there's a war on for your mind.
Oh, because there's a war on information. What does that mean? Does that mean that we will manipulate, misrepresent, and detract from the truth?
Oh, I apologize for that.
You've done it.
Yeah. So people are seeing it. This is it. This is General Flynn with Massey, Shady Groove, who Trump primaried, guys. And then you got this smiling little... Just... randomly, I randomly ran into you with my blue stinky jacket with my buckle, American flag buckle, and these cheap ass jeans, in this wrinkly shirt, and I just ran into you randomly.
You keep going.
At a restaurant with nobody there, randomly.
Because it happens all the time.
Yeah, that actually looks like Florida.
It probably is Florida. I mean, yeah, you don't think that Flynn is going to Massey, do you?
No, Flynn's not behind any psychological operations. Shane.
No, there's
all of them, right?
Yeah, he's not. He's just behind the whole apparatus.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
listen, it's good. Like, we're doing a little review here, letting you guys know what an amazing compliment to have from an old fan of the show. And I think there's a number of people that have made comments over the weekend. Thank you so much to the people that have agreed and understood. And then again, God bless you to the trolls. You guys are so committed out there. It's just amazing to watch you. We actually have proof that MG Show is 100% MAGA, because AI really literally listened to the show and showed you that, oh, wait a minute, these guys are actually talking about Trump all the time and taking it to the golden age whenever no one else talking. You'll notice, Jeff, that all the people that came to comment on how terrible we were, They don't talk about Trump in their X feed. They don't post anything about Donald Trump. They don't post about, how he's deregulating, how he's beating them in Iran. They don't post anything to support his mission whatsoever, but they tell me that they're more MAGA than any MAGA that's ever MAGA'd in MAGA land.
Yeah. Yeah, Here for Vids is here as well. Thank you. I see a lot of people that have not been here in a while as well because you don't have a red castle. So welcome in, guys. Okay, welcome back. There's so much going on. And who else? Didn't that Anon guy say that it was bad that I went on CNN or something like that?
Oh, yeah. He's telling us that they do that. They go round and round. They say that we're like somehow sponsored by CNN. Whenever we went there to break a narrative that they were trying to establish that some dumb crap like acting like Q was cash. And as a matter of fact, Ivan Ranklin and these Flynn people were sort of spreading that stuff around, trying to make cash not appealing to be the FBI director to the people that would have to vote for him in the Senate.
Yeah. And I'd just like to, this is Cash's book right here. To Jeffrey, thank you for the support and great show in the Matrix MG show where we go one week all Cash Patel.
Oh, I see Justice is here. Hey, Justice. I didn't know he was here.
Yeah. He's here. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
And so this is the spy op post right here. Okay. I got the spy op post from Q on CNN, Shady. See, they think
the front page.
Yeah. Anderson Vanderbilt show.
That Q tagged and actually targeted. Well, we went right to him and we showed him the spy op post and asked him, we said, Anderson, why is your family doing this?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Rock Chip says, God bless you boys for your gift, for digging and the perseverance that delights the heart of God. Thank you so much.
This is so much fun.
It is fun. And we have a good time doing. Oh, by the way, guys, I can't really give much information on this, but please pray for the MG show to be elevated. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We need your prayers. Let's go.
Upward and onward.
Yes, sir.
Ting.
Yes, sir. Oh, wow. Let's break the matrix, if you will, Shady Grove.
In the matrix, Shady Grove.
So a lot of people are starting to see it, and it's wonderful. A lot of people are saying, wow, you were right. I don't need to be right, okay? I need you to understand and learn the truth yourself because the truth is learned. It's never told. It's how I had to do it, too, so I understand. We don't have an ego to where we actually need apologies. But by saying in the Matrix and Shady Groove on Justice's post, got a lot of flack because in Twitter 1.0, we had nobody.
We were buried.
There was an organized campaign. If you retweeted me, somebody would hit you up in your DMs and say, why are you treating Matrix? He wore red shoes. It's an organized campaign against this show. We were even mentioned directly by General Flynn on a podcast, Shady.
Oh yeah, we're gonna dive. Let's dive back in. Let's see if we got a raving review.
Yeah, I think they like us, right?
Of course. I mean, what's not to like?
So very, very interesting. So let me go to it. Here it is.
So we don't need a person that the left, would actually approve of.
And by the way, he's running for VP during this podcast. Okay, this guy.
Back it up. We want the whole clip to be played. Like this, watch how he stammers and stutters and tries to get this out. And then he gets the numbnuts to speak for him.
And then watch the eyebrows. Okay. That's a tell.
They do flutter.
He's got to tell when he lies. Okay. It's the
a kerfluffle.
Yeah.
So we don't need a person that the left, would actually approve of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They won't approve of it outwardly, explicitly, but we'll know it right away. And and we'll see. We've talked about all kinds of things in the movie. I talk about assassinations. How today they don't assassinate by, they assassinate by narrative, right? They destroy you, and that narrative destroys you financially, emotionally, intellectually, family, everything, right?
Did you hear that, Authority and Matrix? He said assassination with media, not by what you think it is.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
But, so, listen, you just brought a comment you want to keep waking people up. Well, what better way to reach the masses, sir? Like Vice President Flynn.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
All right. So those two guys, You ready for these two guys? So who's the person on the left? The person on the left is George Ballotin. He was tried by a jury, and Ballotin was found guilty of third-degree distribution of controlled dangerous substances, specifically testosterone proportionate, NJ and count 1/3 degree of possession of testosterone proportionate, third-degree distribution of another CDS heroin, and a third-degree possession of heroin. Okay, that's who Flynn is hanging out with. That's this guy. Okay, but wait.
There's no way you could possibly blackmail a person like that.
The person on the right here, Lance Miglio, okay, is a former strip club owner who pled guilty to 5 felony counts of possessing ecstasy with an intent of distributing the drug and faced 5 years in prison. This is who we are fighting.
So if you make a deal with Flynn, you don't go to prison, you just get a podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Funny how that works.
It's funny.
It's almost like they're all criminals that are out there that are being blackmailed into like doing something against their will.
So let's continue this a little bit further, Shady, because
let's go.
Okay, so these people, we're noticing a pattern now. Criminals,
yes.
Trafficking drugs, all that kind of stuff, right? Wow. Okay. What about this person, Shady Groove, Paula Loves Children, who is the one that made the red shoe narrative on me, who General Flynn follows? That's Paula Blades, and she's supporting these sick men, Homseth and Juan O'Savin, who is actually Wayne Willett, okay? And they both went to court over molesting their own little boys. That is a fact. Oh, Jeff, you don't have any proof of that, do you?
Wayne Willett, Juan O'Savin, you mean the JFK Jr., the guy that's like out there, he's made millions of dollars, he's driving around in high-speed sports cars. That Juan O'Savin is a what?
He's a Wayne Willett.
He's a Wayne Willett. And Wayne Willett did what? Wayne
Willett in Pierce County, a.k.a. Juan O'Savin, case number 2, okay? His then girlfriend, ex-Angela Fiorella, filed a sworn declaration stating that after Willett picked up their son, Justice, from her grandmother's house, she never saw the boy again. She wrote, quote, "My premonitions were correct on the fact that he is a child abuser and molesting my son." The full one of the 3-page declaration is public. I couldn't find 2 and 3, but the man many still treat as a high-level white hat insider has this sitting in the official court records that are public from 24 years ago. Here it is. And somebody said it's sus that it was written in handwriting, but no, in family court battles like this, this is normal, okay, in the Superior Court of Washington County. It's okay.
It wouldn't be today, but it was then.
Well, I don't know, Shady. I just asked Grok and it said it's normal in these kind of cases that it's handwritten. It didn't mention a time
because
frame.
It's a personal testimony.
Right. So there it is. Okay. There's that. So now, are we noticing a pattern? What about this? General Flynn has a high list of high-level pedophiles, that release of which will decimate the deep state dons. Where's that list? Oh, so are we noticing? I'm just trying to see if we are noticing a pattern. Okay, so we got General Flynn with the high list of pedophiles. Fast forward to Wayne Willett, the same Flynn has platformed. We showed you Ballotin. We showed you Lance Miglio. And there's more, okay, because our original attackers that are from this network were also having crimes. We've noticed the pattern with that with more. But the Flynn network keeps elevating people with this kind of history while promising to expose high-level pedophiles. Notice the pattern? Do we now have a Q-proof for guardians of the
pedophiles? You need 3DOs.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say that.
I know. But there you have it in a nutshell. There's so much more. I've got research questioning General Flynn's involvement and Roger Stone's involvement in January 6th with General Flynn's brother Charles. He got promoted after January 6th. Optics, because he didn't like the optics. We've got so much, on this dig, and then people come in with their feelings. Remember, your feelings don't have an IQ. I appreciate that you're standing up for something, but if you're standing up for something because you were lied to, that's a problem that you need to fix. That's on you, Shady, not me.
What we want to explain to everybody, this is the reason that what we're trying to do here is so much different than what everybody else is doing. What we're trying to explain to you is America is an individual sport, not a group sport. America, doing America right is not a team effort. Doing America right is an individual sport. You as an individual are required to, if you want to be informed, to go out and inform yourself. And if you're going to take on the task of informing yourself, well, then you're going to have to find trusted sources to inform yourself through. This is the way that they get you. They've created this wall around all of us. They've done it. It's been going on for over, it's been going on since before the beginning of the country in reality, right? They don't want anybody to ever get access to real information or the truth. And so they subvert and they subdue and they distract and they undermine and they lie, cheat and steal and they do all these different things. But the people that are honest, God-fearing people aren't willing to do those things. Like, I'm not willing to lie, cheat and steal. Because I know there's a day coming where I have to answer for it, okay? There's a group of people out there that have already, kind of thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Like, they don't really care where they're going in the long run. The people that are telling the truth more times than not are the people that have a sense of the idea of, what happens to you whenever you become a lying POS.
Yeah. All the Flynn anons are quoting that post that I read to you earlier from Justice Cometh, and they're quoting his post saying that don't defend Flynn, but say be careful who you follow. Yeah, and it was aimed at Flynn and the digital soldiers. Mm-hmm. Shady, I also had another question that I wanted to just clear up. The person that I talked to in regards to this said that a lot of times nothing was ever done. So there was no charges brought, but it could have been settled within the family court. So this wasn't criminal, but it could have been settled. But she made child abuse and molesting my son since I weaned him. Okay. That's what it says right there, Shady.
That's what it says.
Okay. So that is public documentation. You can't be sued for that. It's not defamation. It's, oh my God, you have this in your file, basically, Shady.
It sure as hell proves he's not JFK Jr.
Right. It's pretty
people
amazing.
That know, if you know, you know.
Yeah. So there you have it. I think we might just leave it there. We've got so much more on this entire network. If you want to learn more, hit us up in the DMs. Have us on your shows if you guys have shows. We're ready and willing to talk about it. Okay. And we have no problem talking about it because we technically are whistleblowers, Shady. We traveled the country with the repackaging of the Great Awakening tour. Okay.
They brought us into the thing where they wanted us to raise money with their stupid little leadership council.
Yeah.
We saw the inside. We saw what they did. And then all of a sudden, whenever we didn't raise any money, they all started blocking us and saying that we steal things.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty amazing how that works, isn't it?
The only thing that, like I said, the only thing we've stolen is their brains.
So, Shady, I want to go ahead and play this. It's a little bit, I watched it in full, Shady. You've got to see this. It's about the actual communism and propaganda and how to spot it. I think it will be good for us to all watch this.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. I'm with you.
This is The Big Picture, an official television report to the nation from the United States Army. Now, to show you part of the big picture, here is Sergeant Stuart Queen.
The film you are about to see was produced as a troop information film, specially prepared to alert the American soldier against a hidden enemy, an enemy that can destroy morale, rob the soldier of the will to fight, and even trick him into surrendering. Enemy propaganda. Although this study of communist deception was made for a military audience, we think that you, the American public, will also find it pertinent and enlightening.
In the words of an American hero, Patrick Henry, the gentleman cried peace, peace. But there is no peace. And today America cries peace, peace. To further the blessings of peace, to ensure peace, America today sends to every nation in her imperialist orbit the implements of peace: ammunition, rifles, bayonets, hand grenades, machine guns, bombing planes, fighter planes, and now even atomic cannon. The gentlemen from America may call that peace, But I have another word for it. I call it war. I call it America's master plan to enslave the world. Let no one be deceived by the American-style peace.
Let no one be deceived. That's what the man said. I don't think you need 3 guesses to know what this is all about. But let's listen a moment longer and see what's behind it.
Peace is a word that sends cold shivers down the spines of American capitalists. Peace is what the whole world yearns for, prays for, longs for. But on Wall Street, it is a word that spells ruin. I say let the American warmongers beware. The people want peace, and we are the voice of the people.
That was the voice of the Kremlin, or rather, one of its voices. There are lots of them around the world, speaking in every language. This material is just another sample of what you might call the communist war without guns. And this is some of their ammunition. I'm Colonel Foster. I'm going to be your guide for a short tour through the maze of communist propaganda. It's a strange, shadowy world of the doctored photograph, the misquotation, the insinuation, and the lie. Now, some of this material to us is comical. Some of it is tragic. Some of it's weird. Some of it's dull. But all of it has the single purpose of digging the grave of liberty. The gravediggers of communism
Gravediggers.
have been trying to set America up for the kill for years.
Where are the bodies buried?
They're angry that we don't just collapse as per schedule.
Do you see that? Gravediggers. Who knows where the bodies are buried, General Flynn? Because you're a grave digger.
The ones that put them there.
Yeah. I had a lot of epiphanies during this, Shady Grove.
Listen to this. The living conditions of the American masses, that's you, are swiftly deteriorating. Our generation is going through the final convulsions of the dying world of capitalism.
Boy, they keep saying
That's
that.
what it says here. And if you don't believe that pamphlet, try this one. Bankrupt America may have one more war in its decaying carcass, but her young men who face nothing but brute labor, poverty, and death may refuse to fight. That's what it says here. If you're assigned to duty overseas,
Blackpilling.
you may see posters like this once in a while. That's you, in case you don't recognize yourself. Of course, we get a big chuckle out of stuff like this, but the bigger the lie, the bigger the laugh.
They make Trump look like that, don't they?
But the gravediggers aren't laughing. They're deadly serious. And in some places around the still free world, some people believe them. Like to know what they're saying about you and all American soldiers? Well, in England, the communists call you arrogant gum chewers. They tell the Japanese...
Remember when Chris Christie said you can't get rid of General Flynn like gum on the bottom of your shoe?
Interesting. That is interesting.
Well, in England, the communists call you arrogant gum chewers. They tell the Japanese you're pleasure-loving, pampered juvenile delinquents. For Italian ears, the
Or they call you toadies, Shady. Remember this? I mean, this is Flynn is communist, guys. I mean, and so is InfoWars, so is Candace, so is Tucker. They're all socialist communists, whatever you want to ism it.
Anything that is implementing misinformation to dissuade you from supporting something that is in your best interest. That is exactly what this has been doing. It's been doing it for decades and decades. It comes from an ancient source.
communists call you black marketeers bent on looting Europe. To the Austrians, they call you uncultured young thugs. To the Soviet-occupied countries of Eastern Europe, they say you are members of the gangster army of imperialist America. And to the people of Korea, the communists say you are cold-blooded murderers who tortured and shot and buried alive thousands of innocent civilians.
That's what they're saying as well today. Relevant
Sure
now.
Even about Iran.
Slander progressed from the gum chewers to juvenile delinquent to black marketeer to thug, gangster, murderer. From you should be laughed at to you should be shot in just a few easy steps.
Stochastic
How's your
terrorism.
sense of humor now? I imagine that all of us gum-chewing, pampered gangster murderers know why we're being slandered. It's because America is the major obstacle that stands between the gravedigger and his intended victim. Here is target number one for the Reds. And who's in the bullseye? You are. Being in the bullseye, it's important to know something about the enemy's weapons and how to spoil their aim. That aim is nothing less than world conquest, and subversion by every possible means is the chief method used. The key word is conflict. Outside of the red countries themselves, conflict must be promoted everywhere. Every dissatisfaction
Nothing's being
must grow into
done.
resentment. Every resentment must become an argument. Every argument must grow into a fight. Every fight must blossom into a riot.
Huh.
Every riot must expand into a war. And every war must end in devastation. For there in the ruins, communism finds its chance. For the communists, there must never be a compromise. Never a settlement of disputes. Only conflict. To Americans, none of it makes much sense. But wherever there is poverty, unemployment, disillusionment, there is also despair. And where there is despair, people may listen to anyone, to any plan that promises a change. In America, practically nobody listens. In all countries with stable government, civil liberties, and reasonable prosperity, communism makes little or no headway. The red countries cannot stand comparison in the light of day. That's one reason for the Iron Curtain that stretches across Eastern Europe from the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean.
And what does President Trump call his a blockade of steel? Iron Curtain. Very interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The barrier works two ways. It keeps free men from seeing too much inside, and it keeps the slave world from glimpsing freedom. Back of that Iron Curtain is the biggest captive audience in the world. They don't have to sell them, just tell them. And what did they hear about themselves? Well, let's listen.
Мы передавали специальную программу, посвященную сельскохозяйственному планированию в Азербайджане. At a recent meeting of the International Labour Organization, the question was raised by one of the American delegates as to why there are no strikes in the USSR. To the people of the Soviet Union, this is a foolish question. The reason why we do not have strikes is because we do not have exploitation of the workers. Here there are no capitalists and no landlords seeking profits at the expense of human welfare. As all of us know, in the Soviet Union, authority belongs to the working people. In no other country does the worker feel so much a part of his factory, his farm, his village, and his nation. Our workers do not grumble or strike. They leave that to the discontented masses of other countries who have not yet advanced to socialism. One has but to look around the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics to see on every hand evidence of our enormous progress. In Uzbekistan, there has been a mighty upswing in the economy and unprecedented cultural progress as well. Twice as many Uzbeks today receive higher education than in France, for example. In Czechoslovakia, household appliances and motorcycles have ceased to be the goods exclusively for the rich. Today, they are available to all. In Bielorussia, the people have received all equipment necessary for boosting agriculture, such as tractors and machines. We are a nation of happy builders in a blossoming land.
You get the picture? For the people around Moscow, they say everything in Uzbekistan is wonderful. For the people in the Euro region, they say everything in Czechoslovakia is wonderful. For the people in the Ukraine, Bielorussia is a blossoming land. Wherever a Soviet citizen lives, he's told life is just a bowl of cherries somewhere else in the Soviet Union, and it's up to him to work harder to catch up. As for America, the Soviet people are told that conditions here are hopeless. In their theaters, the Soviets see newsreels made up especially to show the terrible truth about us.
So, you know, we had very good reviews with FIFA and all of these people from these countries that are under communistic propaganda about your country, our country, Shady. This is where it comes from.
Great thing to bring in today, because literally, you know, this is the moment, like we've said, what we've been saying leading up for the last few weeks. I've been focusing on the Q Lounge and explaining to you guys about communism, why it's so important. And what's the most important thing about communism is you to use your word against it. You need to speak up against communism, because effectively, let's take it. And what if the people that were doing DEI were really just putting that out there as a front for communism? What if the people in the LGBTQRMPOMSO739654017 group were actually communist, utilizing the feelings of a group of people to manipulate them and make them think that they had special rights? What if all of these people that were saying reparations were actually the communists? What if all these people that were saying democratic socialism were actually communists? Then where would we be? We would be in a situation where not enough people are speaking out against communism and being strong. Why? Because whenever we speak out against communism and we're very, very strong, what happens to us? The whole establishment turns on you and acts like that it's you that's the problem, just like they did to McCarthy half a century ago. Why? Because there's an established order at the core of the deep state that from on high dictates life to you. And then when you call them out, they immediately become the victim. Just like, oh, they went after me. Oh, they said this about me. After you have initiated a fight with somebody, that's how you know that these people are communists. And we need as many people using your voice to say and stand up and call out communism and be strong about it. And that's why we're trying to give you all the tools that you would need to do such a thing so that you can help people understand.
Amen to that. Let's keep going a little bit further.
Yes, sir.
This is America of the big capitalists. Wall Street, with its big, impressive buildings. But this is the real America, where the workers live. Since they are underpaid, they must eke out a few pennies extra by peddling fruit on the streets. Almost every day in America, you will see police and goon squads attacking the workers who try to strike. But for the wealthy class, there is not a care in the world.
Did you recognize those old newsreel scenes? You know how typical they are of America. As for the Soviet soldier, he is also a prime target for the Kremlin propagandists. The Soviet soldier's head may be full of propaganda, and his ears may be ringing with lies, but he's still a soldier, and a tough one. In all his life, he will never hear the truth about the other side. I said a moment ago that we're slandered by the Reds everywhere in the world, and we are. But every once in a while, the Kremlin changes the script. In the last 40 years, Russia's official attitude toward us has changed from friendship to hatred, back to friendship, and back to hatred again, no less than 8 times. It all depends on the party line. In the crazy world of communism, today's friend is tomorrow's enemy. Today's hero is tomorrow's traitor. Lavrenti Beria, chief of the Soviet secret police, hero of the people, shot as a traitor. Today's hero is tomorrow's traitor.
I really want to quick, somebody just said, I bet half of the Flintstones are Soviets. Well, Ivan Raiklin, actually, his parents are Russian, okay?
Yep. They absolutely are.
Rudolf Slansky, leader of the Czechoslovakian Reds, hero of the people, hanged as a traitor. Laszlo Reich, leader of the Hungarian Reds, hero of the people, hanged as a traitor, and then found innocent, cleared of all charges, but too late. And here is the hero of heroes, genius, the benevolent father of all the Russians, who has been declared the greatest traitor of them all, the psychopathic murderer, after being hailed as a godlike leader for 30 years. It all depends on the party line, whether the Russian bear kills or caresses, scowls or smiles. And when the Reds start calling us their best friends, look out. That's what they said to us in some of their broadcasts over in Korea, and in these leaflets they drop behind our lines. All of a sudden, they're our buddies.
Dear conscientious friends, American officers, sergeants, and soldiers, the great desire of the Korean and Chinese People's Army is for justice and national independence. Are you really fighting for freedom? Do you not realize by now that you have been sent by the Wall Street merchants to crush Korea's attempt to gain independence? You cannot beat 500 million Chinese and Koreans. Our brave and heroic soldiers will never surrender. Don't let your capitalist leaders deceive you. Don't fight their aggressive war. Let all foreign troops withdraw from Korea. Go home and live in peace.
Well, every GI in Korea wanted nothing more than to go home and live in peace. If only the communists would do the same thing. But they didn't, of course, until we fought them to a standstill. Now let me introduce you to another communist. This is going to be hard to take, so brace yourselves.
Hi, fellas.
It's 10.
How are you today?
Okay, we'll come back and finish it up on the other side. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Boom. Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, it's Jeffrey Peterson and Shannon Townsend with the MG Show. We are under relentless attack by the mainstream media. They've got our PayPal, our Patreon, our YouTube, our everything, you name it. We are under attack. We need your help.
Our request is for you to get involved and support independent patriot journalism here in this critical battle that we are in for America. Please jump on over and support us right here on Give, Send, Go.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust to your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98. Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
The MG Show, where psyops go to die.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's true. You heard correctly. This summer, the Q Lounge Live returns to the airwaves every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Hello, I'm your host, Shannon Townsend, a.k.a. Shady Groove. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be taking your calls. We are going to be following your wonderful president. We are going to be standing in the gap. We are going to go places where the conspiracy theorists tell you that you're not allowed to go. We are going to uncover the truth and follow along as Donald Trump has his way with all of these people that he stood up a long time ago and told us that he was going to. Well, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening every single day, and we're going to keep you updated with a weekly show. Get ready, get your friends, show up. That's right, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Join me there right here on the MG Show channel on Rumble. God bless you and God bless America.
Smash that like for the MG Show. Subscribe now. Ring that bell. Let's go. Smash that like for the MG Show. Yeah. Let's go.
Spitting raw, no filter. Matrix shady in the game, truth's the real thrill. 12 noon until 2 is the daily grind. Dropping red pills for the open mind. Two dudes delivering news, no fake or fact. Mega Trump in the cut, bringing power back. MG Show on the mic, breaking down the code. Q Lounge Live, where the secrets unload. Shady Groove and the Matrix. matrix, spinning the sound. East Coast, West Coast, truth coming around. Shady groove and the matrix, feel the vibe unfold. Truth learned, never told, breaking the mold. Matrix, shady shadow moves in the night. Decode in the system, bringing dark to light. Clock ticks, are we live? Are we live? The guys on the scene watch the news revive. Matrix slam voices right, leading the fight. Shady groove in the mix, keeping it tight. MG show, we expose, no cap, no lie. Q Lounge live, where the patriots fly. You don't know, truth's a weapon sharper than the blade in the matrix game. We never fade. Shady groove and the matrix, spinning the sound. East Coast, West Coast, truth coming around. Shady groove and the matrix, feel the vibe unfold. Truth learned, never told, breaking the mold. Shady groove and the matrix, spinning the sound. East Coast, West Coast, truth coming around. Shady groove and the matrix, feel the vibe unfold. Truth learned, never told, breaking the mold. Jeff Shannon signing off, the mission's clear. Matrix shady in your ear, no fear. From the MG show to the Q Lounge stage, we're dropping truth bombs, turning the page.
Wow.
I love that video. The song is done by Mikey Mariano. He wrote the lyrics. He did it via Suno, and the video is what do you call it? A collaboration with MG Music on the video. Shady.
What I call that is fantastic. A perfect blending of what it is that we're doing here with the energy that we're bringing and the way that we're marching forward into the golden age without fear, with the truth pushing us. Like we put up a sail on our vessel, and the truth inflates it and moves us forward into the golden age, bringing us closer to each of us having an individual liberty, the like of which no man in America has ever seen. And I mean that by like the idea of per human being wealth in America. It's getting ready to explode to a level that has literally never been understood. And the powers that be understand what Donald Trump is about to unlock for you, and they recognize that once he's done it, you will never go back to their cage.
And you know what's funny is like
Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah, and it was funny. So that video took a long time because I wanted to get it right. And one something in the morning my time, I called Mike. I go, "You ready?" And we had a conversation about it. And Eddie Mike is going to steal the whole song and make it his.
Nice.
Thank you, Mikey Mariano. Forget
Made
about
an appearance right there. Look at that.
Look at that, guys. Amazing.
Boy, oh boy. Thank you, sir. How strong is that? You know, it really does encapsulate what we're doing here.
It does. And it's the rebranding with the Q Lounge Live is in it, guys. And guys, I'm going to ask you again, if you guys are watching the Q Lounge Live, you got to treat it like a separate show. Okay. So show your love on the Q Lounge Live. We really need your help, guys. We really need your help. And, with all this censorship and all the digital soldiers coming after us and blocking us and working with Media Matters, in my opinion, to get all of our ways to make money off the table, right? PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Teespring, you name it, YouTube. We survived.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy, guys.
We survived 4 years of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And they were like sending Jan Halper out to tell us that we were being investigated. They were like sending the Flynn horde to tell you that we were stealing everything that wasn't nailed down and lying to you. Meanwhile, they never actually typed into the internet what we lied about. It's very interesting because everything that I said, I backed up with something that I was pointing at to show you how I was telling you exactly what I think. And effectively, let me tell you this. The word grifter means someone that will go and use one of these things to say things that they don't think. I don't do that. I use this to say the thing that I think. And this is exactly what Jeff does. And that's the reason that you can listen to us today. And you could listen to us 5 years ago and you're going to hear a lot of the exact same things. It doesn't really take a lot of effort to keep up with things when you tell the truth.
That's right. Amen. Amen to that, Shady Grove. And, that's all I want. The truth, nothing more. Why do you think I like The Matrix so much, right?
I thought you were going to say, why do I think that you like Shady so much?
No.
Okay. I was getting ahead of myself there. You see how I got, sometimes I like, get way out in front. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have to Mikey, we have to talk to him about fishing for compliments. Okay. Or making stuff.
I was like long. That was long shore fishing. Like I was on a pier.
You were like a communist there. You were making stuff
really
up.
Trying to land a big.
Like I'm in the Mormon Church of Latter-day Saints, Shady Grove.
I really am disappointed in that. I'm disappointed in that, man. I mean, it's like you think you know a guy.
Yeah. My magic undies are in a bundle, guys. I'm so sorry.
Got them all twisted in knots.
And you can be a Mormon. I don't care. I'm not, though. Okay? Well, whatever. Because where we go one, we go all means all. Okay? Shady Grove, I got to do this real quick because it is our Rumble wallet, and then we'll get back into this video. But we hear a lot about crypto. But here's the part that most people miss. Crypto was created so that you could actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money and delaying transfers or limiting access, you are in control. And if you ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, I know you felt that problem. Fast forward to today. Everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started feels a bit complicated, doesn't it? That's why I use the Rumble wallet. It takes all that complexity away and makes it very, very simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stable coins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, and bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, guys, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like the MG Show directly. So do this now. Scan that QR code or click the link in the description and download that Rumble wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet by and tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating here on Rumble, for being part of our family here, and also for having patience to learn the truth. I think that's a big thing. Isn't it interesting, Jeff, how we've been engineered in society? Like nobody has any patience with anything. Everybody has this short attention span. You can't really take in long form content, different things like that. Well, it takes patience to understand things, and you have to slow your mind down, because if you don't, you just kind of move through things. You miss so much. So thanks for having the patience to slow down and to gain real ground, solid ground of foundation forming ideas to understand. We could have a debate. You could talk about how much you love communism. We don't care that you love communism. We're just going to tell you as you do it. We're going to mock you for it. We're going to talk about how ridiculous you are, and we're going to show examples of how it doesn't work, while we tell people that you're not going to ever see a communist patriot. Show me one of these people with blue hair that is a patriot to communism. Let me tell you something. All these people out here on the West Coast, they get lots of funding from the government. The government gives them a card every month, and they go out and they eat off of it. And then they scream and yell that they want to be communist. Why? Because the government feeds them. If we were to do something miraculous like stop them from being able to get free food if they can walk around and talk, then they would be less communist. They would turn into capitalists. They would get up and go to work someday.
So in our movement, they called everybody a patriot because we live in a capitalist country. But the communists that called you patriots were communists.
Well, you're really making a lot of your way too much sense. They don't want you reading about anything to do with Q. They don't want anybody outside of 4chan or 8chan to understand what's going on with Q. So we would never make something that we would sell. And then Q came in and said, no. The patriots are Alex Jones and Jerome Corsi and this whole network of idiots over here, the PAY triots, right? Are these idiots over here? And then everybody decided that it was just Jeff and Shady.
Right.
Like X22, SGT, all these other people that were taking donations, they were fine. No worries. It's those Jeff and Shady guys that didn't have any approval to be doing shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right, so let's go back to communism since we've been hanging around with a bunch of communists, and this is from the U.S. Army, guys, to the soldiers on how to shield yourself from communist propaganda, which is what we are facing today with InfoWars, Alex Jones, General Flynn, Patrick Byrne, Juan O'Savin, people that are thinking that there's people that have Juan O'Savin on their show thinking that he's, and don't like Flynn, but he's a Flynn guy, guys. Okay? It's crazy.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that just because so you see inside of Patrick Byrne's house, you see a picture of Mao on the wall, you think that means that he's a Republican?
Remember when he said the Chinese phrase and Islam?
Inshallah?
Yeah.
I do.
Whatever. The music business, you have to pay to play. The musicians in it here to play live. We will understand. Thank you so much, Mikey Mariano. All right, let's go back to this because this is how you understand it yourself because this is relevant.
Now!
That's right.
Not so good, huh? Well, you know what General Sherman said about war. Oh, well, it'll only last 7 or 8 years, fellas. Of course, it could be less than that if your leaders would only listen to reason. But let's not talk about it. I'm going to play some real dreamy music for you. But first, I want to welcome some new fellows into the line, the 305th Infantry Regiment. I'm sorry the weather's so bad for you. We had planned to fix all the roads before you came. But there isn't much we can do about it now. Incidentally, keep your feet dry, fellas. Your medics can't do a thing for frozen toes. And your girlfriends back home don't want you crippled. Take it easy, huh?
That's the way Soul City Sue entertained us in Korea. Nice music and a soft, sympathetic voice. Selling discouragement and defeat. Digging graves, as all communists do, but lining them with velvet.
Blackpilling.
I've heard that radio arm of charm were sometimes interrupted. And very rudely, too. Like this. That's the way it went in Korea sometimes. First, the gentle voice. Then the loudspeaker. They were interchangeable weapons in the communist war of words.
What do they use for those calls to prayer?
Propaganda from the enemy in a combat zone like Korea is one thing. Propaganda in a peaceful country is something else. Most of you who will be stationed overseas will run into the second kind. At first, you may not notice that the grave diggers are as busy as ever, slandering us, trying to separate us from our lives. You'll go about your business for a long time, maybe, and then turn a corner one day and see it splashed across a fence or a wall. Or maybe on an ordinary street or square. Suddenly, you'll come across the party insignia on a doorway, and it'll remind you that the grave diggers are around. Or maybe you'll stop to look at a poster in some European town. You probably can't read the language, but the picture is plain enough. A while ago, I mentioned the importance of knowing the enemy's weapons and how to spoil their aim. Through your behavior and your friendly attitude, you can make a personal contribution toward combating communist accusations of gangsterism and gum-chewing arrogance. Here's another way to play it smart. Avoid any contact with political demonstrations and you'll stay out of trouble. The communists are good at making propaganda in a big, noisy way.
Relevant now.
In a quiet, insidious way, too.
It's a very bad mistake to rearm Germany. The Soviets are no fools. They will not allow it, even if it means war.
France? It is a corpse, propped up by American bayonets. No, my friend. France is not a nation. It is a staging area for Americans when they are ready to attack the Soviet Union.
I do not say the Americans are bad, only mistaken. Where is this Soviet threat they talk about? Stalin is dead. The Soviets want only peace. So why don't the Americans go home?
Well, if you hear enough of this kind of gossip planted by the communists, enough phony rumors of America's secret plans to launch a war, enough big lies, little lies, and medium-sized lies, maybe you'll begin to believe some of it. Maybe you'll begin to wonder if there isn't some truth in it. Maybe nobody really likes us. Maybe the world really thinks we're imperialistic warmongers. Maybe.
Black pill.
Well, that's what the gravediggers want.
Everything is lost.
Because if you do, you're halfway in the bag. The fact is that every free nation in the world looks to America as the bulwark of liberty. The fact is, behind the Iron Curtain are millions of people to whom the voice of America is the only voice of hope in a world of darkness.
One.
The fact is, in the exchange of war prisoners after Korea, 27,000 one-time communists refused to go home after one glimpse of freedom. The fact is that all along the Austrian border, the Czech border, the East German border, every day, every hour, people are slipping across, swimming across, crashing across to freedom, telling their pitiful stories in the refugee centers, asking only that they be allowed to stay on our side of the Iron Curtain. Their stories are all different, and yet always the same. If you heard 1,000 or 2 of these stories, they'd begin to get monotonous. You'd think, isn't there an end to this? No. There is no end. Not until communism ends, under the weight of its own evils and its own lies. Well, now you've seen a fair sample of enemy propaganda. Leaflets, magazines, broadcasts, posters,
X-posts,
street demonstrations, rumors, agitation.
Rumors. Jeff was in the Latter-day Saints.
They spend millions, but the funny thing is they don't get a dime's worth of good where people recognize the truth. It's as simple as that. If you know propaganda for what it is, you are protected from its lies. Not only that, you can take measures against it by giving the lie to the enemy at every turn. How? By realizing a simple fact, that in foreign eyes, you and your uniform are the image of America, and by conducting yourself accordingly. You're in the bullseye of the communists' target number 1. And yet, our cause and our country can never be defeated unless we ourselves fail to uphold it. And that can never be as long as we act like Americans. And remember these words: I will never forget that I am an American fighting man, responsible for my actions and dedicated to the principles which made my country free. I I will trust in my God and in the United States of America.
The best defense against enemy propaganda is truth. For a communist, a thing is true only if it advances the communist cause. It is false if it does not. The soldier who understands how enemy propaganda works is forewarned and forearmed. In this knowledge lies his strength. Now, this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us again next week for another look at your Army in action on the big picture.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation.
Wow.
The activities of the Army at home and overseas.
Pretty amazing, guys. Okay.
Great find.
So that was an Army Pictorial Center. That is from 1957, I believe. Shady, let me just double check. Yeah, 1957 U.S. Army film taught soldiers how to spot communist propaganda and doctored photos. You see that every day. Tailored smears. You see that every day. Endless conflict. Flynn, Trump, Linwood, Trump, Flynn. Bleh. I'm not going to vote. I'm going to vote. Controlled narratives. Sound familiar? Q has been saying the same thing for years. Only now the battlefield is domestic in a big way. Disinformation is necessary for them. Recognize it, reject it, and do your own research. The best defense is still the truth, Shady.
Man, I think that was an absolute perfect timing to bring that in to show. And isn't it interesting how the American government was standing up against communism in a moment where, 57, that was 10 years before the Summer of Love and all of the different stuff kicked off in the Vietnam War, different things. The Vietnam War was about ushering in communism in America. Interesting. Jeff, check your text message real quick. But interestingly enough, that we have this right now to be talking about what it is that all of us are talking about, which is who are the subverts? Who are the ones that are the behind the damn curtain? So sick of these people acting like that they're like opening the curtain whenever they're the ones behind the curtain. This is what Alex Jones has been doing. This is what Roger Stone does. This is what, like right now you're seeing this whole thing with like Roger Stone acting like, oh, Alex Jones is crazy and Laura Loomer is this. Laura Loomer saying that about General Flynn and this about Roger Stone. They're trying to position themselves. They're trying to figure out a way so that they can get Donald Trump to trust one of them again and actually confide in them so they can leak crap to the press and smear them again, which they haven't been able to do for a year and a half. Everything that they've done is conjecture and this insinuation or innuendo, no facts, no sauce, no real down-to-earth thing that you can say that Donald Trump did to you, like point to us on the doll where Donald Trump hurt you, because it's absolutely ridiculous. He's making the country stronger and in a better position on the world stage and diplomacy and foreign affairs than we've ever been in the history of the country. But they don't want that. They want multilateral meetings. They want confusion and chaos and sickness and death so that they can tell you how bad everything is and continue the black pilling crap.
So you said this is Monica Matthews?
Yes, sir.
Monica Matthews on air, who has almost 200,000 followers. Monica on air talk, NatSec Matters, comms, consult, hunter-gatherer, author, political pundit, only spies or honeypot. Monica Matthews, she said, "Dear God," to this Roger Stone post with 107.
And she's also, if you back up from that, go to her account, two down on her account. We need please give that link to the audience here too, whenever you get that. But you see the one to Alpha. She's calling out Alpha right there in that big one.
Hello, Nikki Tabir. We're sick.
No, go down one more.
Alpha Warrior.
Down one more right there below.
So let me get this straight.
Yep.
Okay. So let me get this straight. The mysterious cowboy boot. I'm going to repost it too so you guys
talking about 07.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The mysterious cowboy boot wearing godfather of Q has now been found out to have his own sworn testimony accusing him of child molestation. Am I following that correctly? All you MFers pretending to be in favor of the Epstein release who have held hostage the minds and hearts of decent Americans should burn in hell for what you've done to this country and to children. Alpha Warrior, I tell you this, if this is accurate and you side with the middle road there where these MFers are concerned, consider me a former friend. And Alpha Warrior is another attacker of the MG show.
Yep. I saw that while we were playing, and I thought that was very interesting that other people are finally starting to see this and recognize that there's a group forming. Justice was explaining to us a little bit about the Julie Donuts and the AF Patriot guy and how they completely attacked them, smeared them, and then ran off to 107 Saban camp. So that's a little bit of why this is coming back up for conversation. I find it interesting that, like I said, people are starting to see. Great post, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. Here, if you guys could go give Monica a comment about thank you for reposting this, because it's not easy thing to call these people out in an environment where their network is going to never repost you, take your post and mock you, and then act like, you're not getting any attention because they're so much more popular than you are.
Yeah. Wow. So tell them the MG show sent you, however you want to do it. Tell her thank you. Call out your own digs on Flynn and Stone and 107, whatever you guys want to do.
Share them. That's right.
Yep. Look at this real Craig Sawyer.
So we got
another
Craig
one
Sawyer.
Of our attackers.
I was going to say, he's got us blocked too. So what's he doing?
Oh, look. The Matrix is a clown coward. Oh, I'm a clown coward, huh?
Oh, wow. Look at that. What's he talking? Oh, taking a little bit of heat here, huh?
Yeah, I never said anything about this. He's an asshat, but I haven't said anything about him lately.
Why is he putting you next to Holmseth?
I don't know. That's awesome. What a douche.
Every scumbag like this Matrix guy defaming me. But, bro, we got sauce on you, Sawman Sawyer. Bro, you little Flynn Nugget. Flynn Nugget says what? Oh, I'm blocked. I can't say anything. Does Sawyer have you blocked too?
I don't know. I'm going to see if it replies. Yeah, look at. I never mentioned you, but I have the goods on you too.
Mm-hmm. Boy, it's interesting. He comes piping up.
Maybe because I'm mentioned in it. No, I'm not.
Why is that?
Weird. Because I am blocked by Craig Sawyer. Look at. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, we unblocked you.
That's what they do.
Yeah, like Bigger Truth will. He tried to. He had me blocked, and then he would unblock me so he could come comment to force me to block him.
Right. Wow, man. Crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this post too, guys.
They're circling the wagons to protect O'Savin.
Yeah.
That's a Flynn cultist.
And Flynn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a Flynn cultist right there coming to protect O'Savin.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing, guys. So you can see the kind of damage we are doing to this network. And, we were a part of it. I wanted to move on a long time ago, but it came back around again. But I also want to point you to this post here. Okay. This is Q post 2213. We were just talking about the playbook. Okay. The Supreme Court is one of the main reasons I got elected president. I hope Republican voters and others are watching and studying the Democrats' playbook. Okay. That was on September 18th, 2018. But on 1/29/2018, Q posted this with the RR firing, blocking Mueller, setting up to fire Mueller, the red line, firing Rod Rosenstein. But Q posted this right here, Adam Schiff status, and it says the DOJ, FBI previously informed me that the release of the information could cross a red line. FISA, declass FISA, RR Force, red line, new playbook needed. We see you. And that's from my account saying, do you believe in coincidences? Think of context. Nothing to see here. Okay? We see you. Nothing to see here, Nazis, right? And here's the original post here. If you go from QAG to here, there is my post. Okay? Wow, Shady. It's all coming back around, isn't it?
It's very interesting because I'm doing a little bit of digging into this whole organization, and it looks like that, all of this fluffing up and tail waving that he's doing out there. I mean, There's not really any connection to law enforcement, and there's not really any solid evidence. It looks like he was out there, like, quote unquote, fighting trafficking so that he could make movies.
And he used his foundation for his own personal gain.
That sounds a lot like a Ballard operation, doesn't it?
All this money that you've donated to General Flynn, all of these people, and nothing got done. Nothing got done. In fact, they found more ballots for Joe Biden, okay, when they funded Patrick Byrne $10 million or whatever he said for the audit in Arizona. It was all a ruse. Everything that they've done and took donations for, nothing ever got accomplished.
True.
Ever.
Fact.
Ever.
Nope.
Wow. This is a beautiful day. All right, so let's get into some President Trump stuff, Shady. What do you think?
Let's do it. We got a little bit of time left, and let's bring in the golden age, and let's talk about, like, the idea of all these people that are acting like, oh, Donald Trump's never going to be able to make a deal with Iran. Oh, it's all just pretend. It's not really going to happen. Oh, America is so weak on the world stage. Meanwhile, we're getting ready to send in a bunch of foreign countries to deal with the problem of Iran, and they're so weak that I would imagine that we might be within 2 months of Iran starting to lose territory.
Yeah, it's all going to come to a head, guys.
It's going to change.
Going to come to a head.
At this point, Jeff, looking at the dynamic, okay, because you got to kind of go back to before the mullahs and what was going on in Iran and the different factions and all the different things that were happening. They were pretty much a modernized state before we ruined it in the mid 40s. So you looking back now at what's going to happen, you've got vipers at every corner of that country, and they all want access to it. So very interesting dynamic that's happening right now, because we've built a coalition around them that actually trusts that we will do what we say. So whenever we say we're going to sell Saudi Arabia some fighter jets, they show up.
Yeah.
We follow through is what I mean to say there. We're actually doing what we say, not just saying things for TV.
Yeah. All right, so let's go in. We're waiting for President Trump to sign executive orders today. He was supposed to come out at 1:30. He's still not out. I'm monitoring that situation. But President Trump gaggles with the press on Air Force One 19 hours ago. Let's check it out.
Hi, everybody. So go ahead. What prompted you to call off the strikes last night? I was asked to by Saudi Arabia, by UAE, and by Qatar, and by Iran. We were all set to go. It's about at this time right now, and it would have been a massive attack. We're all set to go, but when the allies asked to call it off, you got to sort of say, well, let's see. And the reason they asked is I think there's a deal. There's a deal on Hormuz, and then there will be a deal on the nuclear, or you might call it the denuclearization of Iran. I call it the denuclearization of Iran. So what should we expect? We're holding it. We'll just see. We can do it anytime we want. But we were asked by the three primary groups. We were also asked by Iran, very strongly, actually. They said, we'd like to make a deal. Now, I don't know what they say, because a lot of times they'll say that to me, and then they'll go out and say, we don't know what he's talking about. Obviously, they don't want to be attacked. And they knew the extent of the attack, because they saw it forming. What happens now? Well, now what we're doing is we're talking to them in the form of a negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see if it's true. I'd love to do that, save a lot of lives, save a lot of unnecessary power, to be honest with you. It would take many, many years to ever build it back. If it could, I don't think it would be even buildable back. So we had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous for them, and they didn't want us to do it. And frankly, Saudi Arabia didn't want it either. They thought that a deal is imminent.
Is there a deadline, sir?
And the deal is imminent, having to do with the Hormuz Strait, and also ultimately the denuclearization of Iran. So when I hear that, I say, well, do we want to go and be this severe? Now, there's a group of people that would like me to just do it. And there's another group of people that does not want me to do it.
Does Iran have a deadline to come to an agreement?
We'll just see how it is. We're ready to go anytime we want. Would I rather make a deal? I'm not looking to kill people. Because people die, a lot of people die, and we don't want that. So they asked us, Iran specifically, but the other three said I asked Saudi Arabia, the king. They said, the crown prince. I said, what would you rather do? Would you rather have us do this or not? They said, we would much prefer a deal as opposed to an attack, because you don't know where these attacks lead. I mean, will they be flooded with people pouring into their country and disaster? A lot of bad things can happen.
Sir, there's a report that you're moving U.S. troops out of Bahrain and Kuwait. Are troops being moved out of the Middle East?
Mr. President, why is the U.S. intervening to support the Japan yen at this time? To support the Japanese currency?
Because we have a good relationship with Japan. We're very strong, very, very strong financially. They have a weakening yen, and they wanted a little bit of help, and we're always there for Japan. Japan's been very good to us, with the exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor.
Mr. President, what is the U.S. getting out of that arrangement?
Financial benefit. Financial benefit. It's also good for the world economy. But we make, like when we did with Argentina, I got criticized, we made $25 billion on that deal. On Venezuela, we make hundreds of billions of dollars. I make good deals. Intel, I made $75 billion for the country. I didn't make for me, I made for the country. Intel. I backed Intel. It's the hottest stock right now on the New York stock, on the various stock exchanges. So we made about $75 to $80 billion. And Japan wanted to, it was really more than anything else, it was a signal of friendship.
You said that the
yen is weakening, and the dollar is doing great.
You said
the fact is, our country is doing great. Everybody wants help from our country. Yeah.
You said the anti-weapon. I'm with ABC News. You said the
BBC?
ABC.
Oh, ABC. That's worse.
You said the anti-weapon.
Better than ABC is.
Dang it, you missed it. So he said BBC is better, Shady. Our best friend. You're my best companion, Shady. Oh my God,
You're my BBC.
Yeah.
You said the anti-weaponization.
BBC better than ABC is.
The anti-weaponization fund is back on the table. What are your plans?
No, they don't improve. Look, we have a man named Todd Blanche. He's outstanding in every way. Most of you know who he is. You're not going to find a better person. And everybody, and it's because I backed Cornyn's opponent, and his opponent won in a landslide. It's the only reason it's happening. But I will say there are a lot of people that like. People were hurt so badly. 22 suicides. They were destroyed. Their families were destroyed for doing things that, honestly, there's never been an attack on any group of people in this country, in my opinion. Maybe one. There's one group that was attacked violently and viciously, like these people were attacked. And this would be a reimbursement for the pain that they suffered. A lot of people like it. If they don't approve Todd, I put it back on the table. A lot of people like it. A lot of big supporters of Trump like it.
Mr. President, there's been some domestic abuse allegations against Congressman Max Miller. Do you think he should resign?
Well, I'm going to look at it. I mean, so far it's accusations. I'll be looking at it.
Will the U.S. do anything to address OpenAI and Anthropic's models hacking other systems?
We're very much involved in that. We have a big stake in that. So does the world. So we're looking at it.
So on Canada, have you decided on a punishment yet for the wildfire smoke? What is? Can you share?
Back on Iran. Were you prepared to?
All right, here we go. We got President Trump live.
Thank you for all being here as we take a major new step to support our incredible military family, something that we've been working on for a long time. I guess you could say for decades. There's never been anything like this. Today, I'm signing an executive order to establish the first ever presidential military spouse commission. It'll be chaired by Jennifer Hegseth, the wife of, and highly respected wife, I may add, of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, both here. I also want to congratulate the new executive director of the commission, Desiree. So where's Desiree? Where are you, Desiree? You do such a good job. Desiree Thompson-Sale, along with new commission member Christy Mullen, wife of Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. These are outstanding people, everyone, male and female, outstanding. The commission will also include the spouses of our wonderful service secretaries, the spouses of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the spouses of their senior enlisted leaders. And we have some incredible talent. And I won't tell you these spouses, I've looked at educationally and every other way, they're amazing. We're also pleased to be joined by Secretary Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane. Thank you very much, Dan. America cannot have the strongest military in the world without the love and devotion of our remarkable military spouses who make the extraordinary sacrifices for our country. They really are extraordinary. Many military spouses spend months separated from their loved ones while our heroes are deployed overseas. Military families also endure frequent moves and other unique challenges, and the challenges are legendary. They write books about them. This commission will provide recommendations for improving the quality of life for military spouses so that we can better support both our military families and the entire United States Armed Forces. The commission will develop suggestions to address particular challenges in housing, employment, healthcare, education, childcare, and just about everything else you can think of. We've never had this opportunity. We're doing it now because we've done a lot for our military. We love our military. Every day our administration is fighting to give our military families the support they dearly need and they deserve. As part of the great, big, beautiful bill, we provided hundreds of millions of dollars for military child care and improved housing on military bases. It's being built. Much of it's being built right now. Last Christmas, every service member received a warrior dividend of $1,776. Think of that. I wonder where we got that number. It was actually $1,775. The number worked out to be 17. I said, if you add $1, we have 17. That was one of my genius ideas. We have 1776. But that was a great thing, and we've given it every member of our military hard-earned pay raise. We've also given the pay raise. The commission will help ensure we continue to give military spouses our very best so our military can continue to be the strongest military anywhere in the world, and we're proving that. As you know, we had a conflict with Venezuela, worked out very well, and we have a conflict with Iran, and that's working out very well, very, very well. So now I'd like to ask Jennifer Hegseth to say a few words, followed by Pete, General Kane, and then I will sign the executive order putting this into play. And it's an order that's long overdue as far as I'm concerned, like by decades. And we're going to do a real job with it. And Jennifer, if you will, please.
Well, Mr. President, you have been a champion for the military, and we are so grateful for that, and that continues today. And like you said, these are generational issues that are long overdue to address. And we have the most amazing women here who have decades of experience as military spouses themselves. To take a look at it. There's really nothing we're going to find that they haven't experienced. And so between what they've experienced and what they know, we're going to really tackle these things. And I've spent the last year traveling around, meeting with military spouses and families around the world and around the country, and it's the same from Kentucky to Singapore. It's housing, it's healthcare, it's employment, it's childcare, it's education. And so we're going to take a look at all of those things. Even one of the women up here, I won't say who, but was a paramedic. And as they moved from state to state, she could not get the license. Switch to that state in time before you move again, before you PCS. And it makes it really difficult for these families to survive, let alone all the other sacrifices we're asking for them. So this is a big deal today. We're super grateful. Every time Pete travels around, Secretary Hegseth travels around to the troops, he tells them, the president has your back. And now the families know that you have their back too. And we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Great job. Thank you. How about you say something first, and then we'll go back into the general. You're not going to top it.
I can't top that, Mr. President.
Give it a shot. You're not going to.
Good job. It's true. Strong families equal strong formations. I mean, when you look at it from a military perspective as a secretary, our job is to make sure our troops are prepared and ready on behalf of the nation. And if your family's not taken care of, then it causes hesitations and complications for the warfighters up front. And so we say often, and we mean it, no soldier, no Marine, no member of the Joint Force serves alone. And so if we can address the issues of housing and make sure it's quality housing, make sure employment opportunities are maxed out, make sure child care is taken care of, make sure DOEA schools are the best in the world so that our military kids are being educated, the trade skills they might want to take the next chapter in life, if that warfighter knows that their family is good to go, they will go the extra mile, which is what our nation asks. So we're in for this. Is not one of those window dressing efforts. Jen's right. This entire group has mountains of experience, and they're raring to go to put it to use on behalf of the great Americans who serve our nation. And this is going to be full speed ahead to address every quality of life issue we can. Which, Mr. President, you invested in the One Big Beautiful Bill. People don't know how much went into housing and into barracks and into pay. That's a down payment. And now with the $1.5 trillion, which we're working to get every dollar of, it's going to be a generational investment in barracks, in housing, in healthcare, in pay, in ways no commander-in-chief has ever done before. So, Mr. President, thank you for leading on this, and this commission's ready to go.
Well, thank you very much. You're doing a fantastic job. General, please.
Mr. President, Mrs. Hegseth, Secretary Hegseth, it's an honor for me to be here today at the launch of this commission. As we stand here now around the world, military service members are out doing our nation's business and ready to do what is asked of them. The foundation of American military readiness is the families, and the backstopping of all of that is the military spouses that serve behind them. Inevitably, every time somebody deploys, that refrigerator will break down, the car will break down. You think we're strong. American military spouses are 10 times stronger, and the lift that they carry is significant every single day. I want to thank this commission for the work that they're going to do to help improve military families' lives and military spouses' lives. It is a critical enabler for American warfighting capabilities. So to all of you here and all the work that went into putting this commission together, thank you. And Mr. President, we're honored to be here today.
Where will they be meeting when you have meetings? Because you're going to be having a lot of meetings. Do you know where you're going to be meeting?
Every month here at the White House.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
What can't do better than that?
Can't do better than that.
Use the Oval Office. Would anybody like to say anything? Maybe Desiree, you could start, and then if you want to say anything, great time to say it. Please,
Absolutely.
Desiree.
Well, I'll just be really short. It's a pleasure for me to serve as the executive director of this commission. I think it's a long time coming. It's a little bit of a pet project out of my office, simply because we have the Chief of Staff of the Air Force's wife that has been inspirational for this. She's a 41-year spouse. But collectively, this group has over 400 years of experience as an active duty military spouse. 400. And they probably moved about 300 times. So if you can imagine that level of experience coming to this commission and solving real problems for the future of our military spouses and families, it's just an incredible thing that you're doing, President Trump, actually asking them to solve these problems and to give you good recommendations, and we're happy to help them do that.
So, you know, we have Desiree's been with us for a long time, and she's directly and indirectly done what she's doing for a long, long time, covered numerous presidents, and she basically responds to the public when the public, they send things, sometimes they send gifts. Actually, it amounts to millions of dollars in small money. And I said, well, what happens to that money? They send it back, or they do charitable work, but it's literally millions. They send it to me. I should be able to get it. She won't give it to me. I should be entitled to it. No, but they send it to me as just a gesture, but they write thousands and hundreds of thousands of letters, and she's got a staff that's all volunteer. And I have one question. How do I compare in terms of response with other presidents of the past?
No comparison, sir.
Is that good or bad?
No, it's good. Very good. Yeah.
Keep them on their toes, sir.
A little more than Sleepy Joe?
Yes.
I think so. Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody have anything to say, or a question, or statement? Would you like to make a statement? Yes, please.
Can I just say, I'm so excited. We've served with the Wills Box now for a number of years, and I've seen them champion the enlisted corps. As the spouse of a senior enlisted leader, it's pretty easy for something amazing like this to happen and not include the enlisted corps, the senior enlisted leaders from the enlisted corps. It means the world to me that this started with them in mind. And I don't know if you remember, but A few years ago, my husband was serving in Alaska, and before you got on the plane, he asked your detail if he could ask you a question, and he asked if you would FaceTime me, and you did. And that it meant the
people
world.
I respect, I do that.
You're getting ready to get on the plane, and this E9, this enlisted command chief, asked you to FaceTime me, and you put your arm around him, and you said, "He's doing a good job. Take good care of him." And that picture has hung in his office since, and it just means the world to me that you highlight the enlisted corps every chance you get. And I love to tell people that story, that you took the time.
That's so nice. Thank you very much. Say hello. Okay. I remember. Please, anybody else?
Mr. President, this is Cindy Wilsbach, who's humble to her core and has had a significant role in putting this commission together. So I just want to highlight Cindy's work.
I would just like to say this is a red letter day for me. Just the honor that I feel to be surrounded by these spouses who, what I like to say is, we serve by oath or by vow. We didn't all raise our right hand to take an oath, but we began serving this great nation when we extended our left hand and said a vow to the person that we love that serves this country. And we represent people that are at the end of their careers. We have served decades, 20, 30, 40 years of service. This is about the legacy that we leave for the people that come after us, for these people who have children who are serving now, or for families that we say, we love you, we care about you, and we are the greatest military in the world. And part of that is taking care of our families, and that's what this commission will do.
And your husband is highly respected, I have to tell you that, by everybody. By everybody. Anybody over here? Yes, please.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Coast Guard, we cannot thank you enough for the amount of money that you have put into our organization. We are beyond excited about the new potentials that we have. We could just feel it. The whole Coast Guard. Every time we go to visit our different units and our families, people are super excited.
Including 11 ice cutters, right?
Absolutely. I'll be talking. Yes.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They had one. Russia has 48. They had one, and it was 50 years old. And you're going to soon be getting 11 brand new ones atop of the line. So
boom.
Our people are very thrilled and super excited and very thankful to you. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good. Anybody else like to say? Last chance. That's it? So I'm going to sign this, and it's a real honor. And then if you like, you could ask questions of the people, and or me if you want. Okay, that's a good one. So I wouldn't want a bad one on this topic. Some are good. You know, we rate them from 6 to 10. 6 is usually when I'm standing up holding it. You can't do a very good one, but that's a 10. So you deserve a 10 too. Okay. Questions, please? Please.
On behalf of the press corps, thank you, ladies, for what you do for our service members in this country.
Right.
Mr. President, are the talks with Iran now off, and are airstrikes?
No, they're on. They're going on right now. It's an amazing thing. We have a little problem with Iran because we have many talks, and we'll say we have or we don't have. You know, we're straight about it. But they deny. But they're not denying it now. They just put out a statement not denying it. But for some reason, they when they're talking, they don't like saying that they're talking. So I say, wait, we're in talks. Big deal. We're in talks. And they'll sometimes deny it, even though they spend hours and hours together talking. No, the talks are going along. We're going to hit them very hard yesterday. Very, very hard. Harder than any attack. I think I can say, General, from a point of knowledge, any attack since World War II. That's pretty big. And we were set to go, and they called. And in addition, Saudi Arabia called, and UAE called, Qatar called. I called some numerous people. I don't want to use the word begging, but some were, in particular, Iran did not want to be hit. And they said, we want to talk. We want to talk about the Strait, but more importantly, from my standpoint, we want to talk about the denuclearization of Iran, because it's what it's all about. This is why I'm doing this. And it should have been done. It's now 50 years. We keep saying 47 years, but 3 years have gone by. But it's for 50 years that other presidents should have been doing or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but other countries. And nobody did it. And it was time, and we hit them hard with the B-2s more than a year ago now. And that knocked out their capability, their potential capability. We've done a great job. But when we talk, we say we're talking. If we're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking. And we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called. The leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them, almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is requiring an ID to access his government-run grocery stores. What then is your message to Democrats who do not want to pass the Save America Act and ensure, ID at the ballot box?
When was this announced? This was just announced.
Yeah.
I heard about it. Yeah. Well, I wish they'd have an ID to access the voting booth. They don't want to access the voting booth with any identification. We want voter ID. And we want proof of citizenship. He also had a thing where you had to have 2 different IDs to shovel snow during the winter, right? So that's a very friendly question. I like her. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Very good. All right. Good question. Very good. A good group.
There are almost 20 GOP senators who have pledged to stay in D.C. to pass Save America Act. So what's your message to the rest of the senators who are still on their summer recess?
I think there's nothing more important than the Save America Act. I think they should stay. They do what they want, but I think they should stay.
Mr. President,
I think it's so important to get it passed. Yeah.
Mr. President, where are the Iran talks, and what are your requirements?
Well, you'll find out today or tomorrow. I mean, they're going to go quickly, one way or the other. It's not very complex. We're talking about the Strait, the opening of the Strait, having it open literally by tomorrow, completely open. And that's phase 1. And phase 2 is we then will talk about the nuclear capacity, the nuclear, as we've been mentioned. Basically, it's, I think, the denuclearization of Iran. Has to happen. And that'll be the second phase. But the first phase is the opening of the Straits. The second phase will be the denuclearization, and that'll take a little while. But we're very strong on it. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and I have never changed in that. Yeah, please, in the back.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that if Democrats get back into power, what is happening in Spain awaits America. What should voters in other countries with elections coming up soon take away from what's going on in Spain?
You have to be very careful with the whole socialist thing. I think in many cases it's much more than socialist. They skipped socialism. They went directly to communism. But when I saw what happened in Spain, I said, we had a version of that. You could say much worse. We allowed 25 million people under Joe Biden, the Democrats. We had open borders, and countries all over the world, almost all of them, sent people that they don't want into our country. And we've gotten a lot of them out, and we're getting more, including murders. And I always said 11,888. That was the number of murders. Many of them committed more than one murder. And we're going to be just like that if you put these lunatics in that I see running for office. We had an open border a year and a half ago. We had the worst border in the history of our country. Now we have the best border. We haven't had one person come in, and this is done by the Democrats, not by left-leaning people. They do charts. And they have, in 15 months, not one person has come in through our southern border illegally. Now, that's pretty amazing. I'd say maybe 10, maybe 15. They say none. And believe me, if they did, they'd love to report it. But you could go outside in those vast plazas where hundreds of thousands of people gathered when they stormed our country, just like they did, in my opinion, worse, just like they did to Spain. They stormed our country. And those borders are those big plazas that were built. They put concrete down. And now you look at them and there's grass growing in the cracks. Nobody comes up because they know they're not going to get through. And if they do get through, they're going to be taken out, brought back to their country. So we've done a fantastic job. You know, somebody said you did it too fast. I did it in 30 days, my first 30 days. Biden couldn't do it. He couldn't get it done. He tried at the end. He tried to do something because it was so overwhelming. It was so bad politically. But we did it in 30 days. Somebody said you should have taken a year and a half or 2 years completed because everyone forgets. Even my speechwriters, they say, sir, nobody wants to hear about the border anymore. You've done it. It's an incredible job you've done, but nobody wants to hear about it. And I should have taken a couple of years to do it because, and it actually was, the public has about a 2-year, people do, they have a 2-year memory for certain things. They have a 2-week memory. I may have gotten elected, certainly partially on the border, and because we did such a great job, it was a long time ago. I did it twice. I did it in 2016 when it was bad, but I did it this last time when it was really bad. It was, Steve, I would say many, many times worse than it was in 2016. 2016 was bad, but what we just had a year and a half ago, that was the worst border maybe in world history. There's not a third world country that would have allowed that to happen, with people coming in from prisons and people coming in from mental institutions and people forced in by government, because these are the people that those governments, those countries, I know them all, they didn't want. And they walked into a country totally unvetted, totally unchecked. Not anymore. Nobody comes in. Except if they come in legally. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday you were... I'm at the Washington Examiner, sir.
Good. They're doing good. They've been very nice to me.
You were asked yesterday whether Representative Max Miller should resign from Congress over the allegations, and you said that you'd have a look at it. Yeah. Have you thought about that? And also, do you think that
it's a very sad thing. I know Max. He's a good person. I mean, I always thought he was a very good person. And I'm going to let the families figure that out. You know, those families... I know they're working on it. It's a very sad thing, especially when you know somebody so well, to be going through that. But it's accusations, and I'm going to let them figure that out. Yeah, please.
President, did you sign off on Todd Lynch rescinding the anti-weaponization fund? And also, there are Democrats right now who say there's essentially 2 tax codes. There's the Trump family tax code and a normal people tax code. Why do you think that your family deserves some level of...
What?
When it comes to the auditing of taxes?
Well, I'll go into that. First of all, I had a 10-year case that was settled until I announced I was running for office. It was a settled deal like I've been doing all my life. I've been audited every year for my entire life, which I have a lot of wealthy friends. They were never audited. To this day, they were never audited. I was audited. And my deal was settled. In writing, it was settled, subject to final approval. Then I announced I was running for president. And all they did was haunt me with it. They ended the settlement, and they went after it. And they went after me illegally. And they did a lot of bad things to me like they did to other people. And I was treated very unfairly by the IRS. It was weaponized against me. Think of it. I had a case this is a 10-year-old case. And it was settled. It was done. The case was over. I announced I'm running for president, and they terminated the settlement in Washington, and they went after me. And what they did here was very, frankly, if you talk about reparations or if you talk about payment, what they did to me, I had a very good case against them. So this was a case that was settled, that when I decided to run for president, right at the beginning, this is a long time, it's been going on for a long time, they terminated the settlement, which is something that never happened before. We have letters from the biggest law firms in Washington saying that this case is nonsense, just like the Russia was nonsense. They weaponized government. And so that's that, and most people understand that. On the fund, these were people that were treated unbelievable. 22 suicides, more than that, I think. Look at Ashley. Look at so many other things that happened. These people were treated horribly, and this fund could have given them some solace. But, it happens to be very popular among many quarters, and I don't participate in that fund. I was certainly treated badly. I don't participate, but I thought it would be very fair for people that spent years in prison, people that were treated so badly, for in many cases people that did absolutely nothing wrong. So I view that fund as a positive, and a lot of Republicans do too, not so many Democrats. And it's not only for that, it's for other things too. People that have been treated unfairly, that have been weaponized by a corrupt government that we had with Obama and that we had with Biden. You had a corrupt government with both of them.
Mr. President, did you sign off on Todd Blanche rescinding
I didn't look at it. All I know is that Todd Blanche is great. He's going to do a great job. Everybody knows it. And I understand there's been a sign-off. But I don't know what they agreed. I think Todd Blanche agreed to reconfirm things that he's already said. And what he said was okay.
Can I
Please go ahead.
Avenues that you'd have, other avenues you'd have supporters get paid potentially if it's not the anti-weaponization fund? Is there another way?
Who are you with?
I'm with MS Now, sir.
You who?
MS.
MS Now?
What's that?
Terrible show. They have the worst people on that show.
Are there other avenues that you want to see people
No,
paid?
there's no other avenues that I know about. Go ahead.
Mr. President, on the Iran talks,
MS Now. That's the failed MSDNC, right? The failed. They failed. They gave it a new name. You know why? Because nobody watched it. Go ahead. And fewer people are watching it now.
on the Iran talks, is there discussions, is Iran willing to return to a fully free navigation of the strait? Is that on the table?
Say it again.
And you know what? I'd like to point out that MSDNC is in the Q posts 25 times, guys.
MSDNC.
MSDNC.
Correct.
5 times.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm sure. I mean, the Q is a LARP, right, Shady?
I wanted to. Can I show you something else I found in the Q post real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this. It says because we were, Anon says, Q, if you can pull strings, how about getting Acosta's press pass pulled? I'm embarrassed he represented our country in this historic meeting in Singapore. Q says, think strategically. Does Acosta's continued disrespectful and poor behavior hurt or help us in the future? Let them all dig their own graves.
Grave digger. They're grave diggers. Who knows where the bodies are buried? The communists, right, Shady?
Yeah, the ones that dug the graves and put them there, sir.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Going with this, you got to get out of here too. All right,
Yep.
so I got to get out of here as well, guys. We're gonna leave it here. It's 2:13 on the East Coast, and Shady's got a golf appointment.
I do not, but
I was hoping.
That'd be great. That'd be actually really good. Let's see if we can work that out. That might be a good idea.
Don't get mad. I was trying to give you positivity.
Oh, I thought you were trying to demoralize me, and
I would never do that. Yeah, I love you, brother.
Love you too.
So I want to just let you guys know that I wrote another song a while ago, and I just did the video because you're watching a movie. Shady, and you might want to talk about this real quick, but happiness is a choice. What you see and project onto others is from you in your skull, in your mind, guys. So when you have confirmation bias, like a lot of these people do, they're relating it to their own lack of research, but only feelings too. So you're making it up in your mind, Shady. Projection in your skull. You're watching a movie.
Think the world's out there.
Go ahead, Shady. Sorry.
No, that's a really good point because this is sort of a little bit of what we're talking about whenever it kind of connects to the black pilling and to the spreading of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yes, there are things that you need to be concerned with. Yes, there are things that you don't know. Yes, there are things that you aren't 100% convinced of. Understood. But those things shouldn't guide you in a way of emotional dynamics, like to move you back and forth and to make you this one day and this the next day. What you should do is you should find a calm center and understand that a lot of these things that irritate, number one, a lot of things that irritate you in other people around you sometimes point back to the things that irritate you about yourself. So make sure that you manage that before you go out lobbing things across the fence. And that's what I think is so funny about all these people that they come out and say stuff like, oh, you're stealing content or you're dividing people. Like, whatever, dude. Just keep making things up and say it enough times. It still doesn't make it true.
Can I say that I want to be divided from the Flynn network?
Yes. And can I say that we help do that?
Yeah. So
because the truth divides The truth divides you away from falsity.
Yes, it does. And Carl Jung called it the shadow, and the mirror never lies. Think mirror, right, Shady? You're the director, you're the writer, you're casting every role. MAGA starts in your mind. Just like Shady said, there's no borders for freedom. It's in your mind, okay? There's no physical borders.
That's right.
Claim your soul before they try to reclaim the nation, guys. Turn off the fake feed, own the projection, make it steal, Shady Groove.
So good.
All right, see you guys tomorrow. Love you, Shady.
It's going to be Tuesday.
The world's out there attacking your peace, but it's all in your head, a personal release. Carl Jung tried to tell you for decades on end. One secret to end it, no more self-help pretend. The people who stop suffering, they finally see it's not managing pain, it's setting the real you free. You've never touched raw reality, not even once. Everything's filtered through your psychic gun. You're the director, the writer, the casting call king, projecting your movie but you don't feel a thing. Unconscious minds running the whole damn show. Shadow on the screen making enemies grow. Wake up America, break the illusion chain. Stop blaming the system when it's inside your brain. MAGA in the mind, first claim your own soul before you fix the nation. Take back control. Same events hit different. Why's that you ask? Cause your projector scripts sit behind the mask. Recurring patterns, that's your rejected parts. Bouncing back is drama, tearing at your heart. The shadow screams loud when you hate what you see. Anger, greed, weakness, you call it them, not me. Animals pulls you into that flame. Chasing the opposite, forgetting your name. Unlived potential dressed up as lover or foe. Externalizing battles you refuse to outgrow. Young lady out playing, the psyche's the stage. You're casting the villains and flying into rage. No more gurus, no books, no endless retreat. Internalize this one inside, it makes you complete. You're the director, the writer, the casting call king, projecting your movie but you don't feel a thing. Unconscious minds running the whole damn show. Shadow on the screen making enemies grow. Wake up America, break the illusion chain. Stop blaming the system when it's inside your brain. MAGA in the mind, first claim your own soul before you fix the nation. Take back control. This might be the last video you ever need. If you own the projection and plant the right seed. Sovereign, so strong, boy, a clear mind. That's how real winners leave the sheep behind. Turn off the fake feed, tune into the real. Your life's your creation, make it still.
www.mg.show. Boom.